Scottie Pippen showed up on a podcast of his former teammate Stacey King's. And Scottie Pippen got to talking about the great Michael Jordan, a person that I consider to be the greatest who ever lived. Michael Jordan. I want to preface my comments. You know how they put those disclaimers up there and they say, disclaimer.
The Stephen A. preface is an all-time classic. I'm going to be honest, didn't even know what preface meant till I heard Stephen A. say preface on First Take in middle school. Someone talking about the Let's Keep It a Buck Discord link. Cardiac, can you tag the mods or something on that?
They
might be talking about the community
parental
tab
advisories and stuff like that. Let me put this advisory up. Before you listen to what Scottie Pippen had to say about his former teammate, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, I'd like to remind you that Michael Jeffrey Jordan is a 6-time champion. I'd like to remind you that Michael Jordan is a 6-time NBA Finals MVP. I'd like to inform you that Michael Jordan is a 5-time league MVP, a 10-time scoring champion, a 9-time All-NBA defensive first team member.
Yeah, I got the gunshots.
I'd also like to remind you that Michael Jordan, in his 6 championship appearances, undefeated in those 6 championship appearances, never once allowed a championship round to reach 7 games. He took everybody out in 6 or less. He took Magic Johnson with Vlade Divac and Eldon Campbell and all of those boys out. He took Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter, Kevin Duckworth, Cliff Robinson, and all of those boys in Portland out for his 2nd title.
You better be oversimplifying, though.
He beat Charles Barkley.
It is a team game.
And the great Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley and those boys in Phoenix for the first three-peat. He retired after that title in 93. He was gone in the 93-94 season. He came back with 17 games left in the 95 season.
Why is he just running down MJ's career? What the
where
fuck?
they ended up losing in the 2nd round to the Orlando Magic. When he had first came back about a week after he returned, after not playing for damn near 2 years, he dropped a double nickel on my New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. That Michael Jordan. And he came back. And he won titles 4, 5, and 6 from 1996 to 1998. He beat Karl Malone and John Stockton and those boys. He beat Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. He beat Karl Malone and John Stockton again. That Michael Jordan. That is the same Michael Jordan that Scottie Pippen said this about.
I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. And all of a sudden, we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was.
Let's get it. Hop off a 16 passenger. This a G5. No, this not a challenger. Big one.
Shout out to Bleak for the $5. Jordan zealots act like his career only lasted 6 seasons, and they love to romanticize about what if he didn't get suspended and go play basketball. Is that something you romanticize about? No, I don't know.
Could y'all do me a favor? I'm looking at my producers here right now. Because I had to stomach that.
Zealots is crazy. I ain't going.
I took a little break. And I feel the need to hear that again, one more time, so I can make sure I hear the words that Scottie Pippen associated with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Play that again.
I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. and all of a sudden we become a team and we start winning, everybody forgot who he was.
And maybe this is a semantics conversation. Is what Scottie saying? First of all, I think we need to let's just let's talk about the facts, and let's bring proper context to what Scottie is saying. Scottie Pippen came into the league in 1988. All right, this was his first season in the league. So he is talking about 1986, 87, 85, 86, and 84, 85, which are Michael Jordan's first 3 years in the league. He's talking about this stretch right here. And what he is saying is that in this stretch, Michael Jordan was all one-on-one. He was a horrible teammate, a horrible player to play with. I personally think him calling him a horrible player was hyperbolic. I think he's talking about more so him being a horrible teammate and being more one-on-one within this time span. But yeah, I don't give a fuck what your team is doing. To say that any 32 point per game scorer in history is a horrible player, that shit, that's just not true. I don't know. You could be the most stat patty dude in the world. If you're averaging 30 a game, I cannot call you a horrible player, let alone when you're averaging 32 with 5 assists on top of that, with 6 rebounds on top of that, with 3 steals on top of that, with a block on top of that, shooting 49% from the field and 85% from the line. I just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. But if you want to say, Michael Jordan was too one-on-one heavy, I think that's fair criticism right there. That's fair criticism. Let's go back to the clip.
My Lord. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you all that Scottie Pippen was picked 5th overall, I think in the 87 draft, if I remember correctly. 3 years after Michael Jordan was in the league, Scottie Pippen first averaged 7 points his first year in the league, 14 points his second year in the league. We all know that Scottie Pippen was a great player. We all know he's one of the greatest players to have ever played the game of basketball. We all know that he's an all-world defensive player and he's a 6-time champion himself. There's nothing to take away from his greatness as a player.
I'm saying, bro.
But he was second fiddle for a reason. Because anybody with eyes, doesn't even require 20/20 vision, by the way, knew that there was Michael Jordan and then there was everybody else. I would like to remind y'all that before Michael Jordan, years before Michael Jordan ever won a title, in 86 and 87 when it was swept in the best-of-5 series by the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and them, even when he was swept in like 86 and he had dropped 63 in a game at the Boston Garden, the great Larry Bird called Michael Jordan God in gym shorts. God in gym shorts. That's who Scottie Pippen is talking about. That guy. Let me break this down to you from a basketball perspective. These were Michael Jordan's teammates where he first got into the league. I wanted to make sure I look it up because I didn't want to get any names wrong. His first year in the league, in case you haven't noticed, his coach was Kevin Lockery. Okay? Number one.
I do think Scottie Pippen is being, and this is where I give Scottie pushback in this conversation, he is being hella obtuse about like what Michael Jordan was coming into the league because, what did he have to work with? It's kind of like, I don't know, like Luka coming into the league and being a heliocentric player. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what they wanted to run the system, how they wanted to run the system in Dallas. You look at the pieces around him, I ain't gonna lie, our best bet to win games is hey, Michael Jordan, Luka, solo squad, please and thank you. So to say that he's just selfish in nature, in my opinion, is kind of crazy. Because, and again, maybe this is where my history might be off. When he was in UNC, he wasn't this star player, ball hog, heliocentric player in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure he played with James Worthy and Sam Perkins in UNC, and they were like the top dogs of that team. But maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he had, like... All right. Adaville saying I'm wrong. Let me look. I know stats aren't indicative of the play style, but I do just want to look up his stats, though. Let's see. Okay. I mean, he was a 20-point per game scorer, taking 15 shots a game. Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Let's go back, though.
The Chicago Bulls had gone 38-44 that first year Michael Jordan was in the league. This is a rookie. It's a rookie year, ladies and gentlemen. This is 1984, okay? Because I want to make sure we know this is 1984. 1984-85 season. Michael Jordan is a rookie out of the University of North Carolina. His teammates are Orlando Woodridge, who was not a scrub, Quentin Daly, Dave Corzine, Dave Greenwood, Steve Johnson, a 34-year-old Caldwell Jones, Enos Watley, Wes Matthews, Jawan Oldham, Sidney Green. That was Michael Jordan's team. Michael Jordan averaged 28.2 points a game as a rookie. I want to take it a step further, okay? Because some of y'all forget sometimes. If you recall, Michael Jordan had only played 18 games the following season, which was 85-86, and he had only started 7 games because he had a messed up foot, and he had been operated on, and he had missed all of those games. And Jerry Krause, the then GM,
they don't make these excuses for LeBron. First of all, get his dick out your mouth. Holy shit, we not even talking about LeBron, bro. First of all, and second of all, even when we talk about LeBron, yes, we kind of do. We excuse him for 07. We excuse him for 20. A lot of us excuse him for 07, 2015, damn near 2017 at this point, 2018. Come on, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying, Sean. If there is one excuse that people do make for LeBron damn near every single year, is the fact that he does not have enough help. Please stop it, bro. Please. And this is one thing I hate about basketball discourse. People look at, and honestly just discourse in general, people look at a certain couple of tweets that go viral on Twitter, gets 20,000 likes, and then they just assume that that's what all NBA fans think, even though it's a big number of people. When you see a take that a lot of people agree with, that still does not mean that everyone agrees with that take. So to make this generalization that, but y'all don't make that, like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? That shit is so weird to me.
Who was a great executive, by the way.
And that's not even about Bleak at that point. That's just a general point.
And did everything he could to prevent Michael Jordan from returning to the basketball court, essentially implying you will do what the hell you're told to do, which Michael Jordan was incredibly resistant to. That season, Michael Jordan averaged 22.7 a game in 18 games that he played due to the injury. From that point forward, I'm looking at my producers in here. I'm looking at all of y'all in here. I want everybody to pay attention to what I'm saying. This is Michael Jeffrey Jordan that we're talking about here. This was Michael Jordan's scoring averages on a minimum of 48% shooting from the field over the course of the next 7 years. 37, 35, 32 and a half, 33.6, 31.5, 30.1, 32.6. That's who we're talking about. We're talking about Air Jordan. We're talking about a dude that took the NBA into a stratosphere that is appropriately described as global, if not otherworldly.
Okay.
There's no dream
boing,
team in
bro.
Barcelona without Jordan. The NBA, as great as it was with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird being promoted extensively by the NBA, they altered their marketing plans because Nike had Jordan. And everybody wanted to see Jordan. Jordan was damn near as big as Michael Jackson.
What is the... Yo, Jesus Christ. He is just... This is insane. Insane glaze. This is like Jimmy High Roller on Jimmy Butler glaze now. Let's advance a little bit.
Now, one could easily... What the hell did that make you? But that would be disrespectful to Scottie Pippen. And Scottie Pippen doesn't deserve that.
Oh, hold on.
A rhetorical question. If Jordan was horrible, what the hell did that make you?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit! Hold on. Hey, let's bring that back, bro. That was kind of crazy. That was kind of... Hold on.
Let's get it. I bought a 15 passenger. This a G5. No, this not a Challenger.
Shout out to Bleak for the 5. I'm talking about Skip, SAS, and the old guard of sports media. Go back and look at all the old First Take episodes after LeBron lost with bad teams. Okay. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But hold on, man. Let's bring that back.
That's who Scottie Pippen just said was a horrible player. Now, one could easily deduce what Scottie Pippen said and simply ask a very rhetorical question. If Jordan was horrible, what the hell did that make you? But that would be disrespectful to Scottie Pippen.
Oh,
Scottie Pippen doesn't deserve that. But you know what Scottie Pippen deserves? He deserves to hear the truth.
Oh, shit.
Somebody has to tell him. Several truths come to mind. Number one, you are not one. I have too much respect for Scottie Pippen to categorize him in this fashion. But how you sound
Okay.
on this particular footage of you talking about Michael Jordan, you sound like a damn fool. You sound like an ignorant dude that don't know the game. We know better than that. We know how brilliant you are at knowing the game, Scottie Pippen. We know how knowledgeable you are. So it only brings two other things to mind about you, bro.
Okay, but Jesus Christ, Stephen A. I think he's blown this out of proportion. I think the majority of what Scottie was saying was more so on he was a selfish player and that he was all one-on-one. I think that's more so the focus of the tweet of the clip. All right, it's not that Jordan was trash before Scottie came. Moohoo for $2. Souls, check your email looking for a job opportunity. I'll check it after the stream, gang. I'll check it after the stream. Don't spam. Don't spam, please.
Envy and bitterness. Those are the two things. Let's count the ways. Number one, you weren't Michael Jordan. First of all, you knew that. You knew it when he left the game. You knew it when you would wear Jordan sneakers when you were on the court. And you would kick your feet up for the camera.
Hey, you wasn't wearing Scotties.
Clamoring for Michael Jordan to come back.
Yeah.
You didn't hate him then.
Yeah.
You didn't hate him when you needed him. Was it Jordan's fault in 1994 when you were going up against the Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals and it was game 3 and you refused to enter a game because Phil Jackson called the last play for Tony Kukoc instead of you? And Bill Cartwright, the veteran center, Bill Cartwright, there was a former Knick that got traded to the Chicago Bulls in the Charles Oakley deal years earlier, that he was sitting on the bench scolding you while the cameras were rolling? Wasn't it Bill Cartwright who was reduced to tears in the aftermath of Tony Kukoc hitting the game-winning shot that Phil Jackson had called for him against the New York Knicks in that game 3? Wasn't it Bill Cartwright that was reduced to tears because he looked you dead in your face in front of the whole team and talked about you quit on them and you let him down? Wasn't that you? Did Michael Jordan, was he at fault for that? Can anybody on this planet have ever imagined Michael Jordan refusing to enter the game because a final shot wasn't called for him? You know why you can't imagine that? Because Michael Jordan would have had the final shot called for him. And you know what Michael Jordan would have done? He would have kicked it to John Paxson, or he would have kicked it to Steve Kerr, or he would have kicked it to B.J. Armstrong, or Craig Hodges before them.
Shout out to Ali for the 5. If you watch The Last Dance, the whole team says when Jordan started trusting his team, they started winning. Yeah, I think that's for a lot of players as well. Kobe's a little bit different because he had Shaq early on in his career. But, you know, I remember there was a whole narrative about Kobe being a selfish ball hog and the fact that he didn't start winning as a number one at the very least until he took a step back and allowed, you know, the triangle offense to be the triangle offense and allowed Pau Gasol to be Pau Gasol, allowed Bynum to be Bynum, allowed Odom to be Odom, and things of that nature. Whatchamacallit? I do want to ask y'all this. I do want to ask y'all this. Can you be a horrible player but put up good stats? Again, I'm not saying that's Jordan. I'm not saying that's Jordan. I'm not going to say Jordan was a horrible player in his first 3 years. But I think the sentiment of a horrible player goes beyond just the stats and the numbers that you put up. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Because I think the way he said horrible player, it wasn't just in a vacuum. It wasn't just, yeah, I'm Scottie Pippen and I am telling you that that Michael Jordan could not play basketball at a high level. At an extremely high level. You know what I'm saying? Chat is saying motherfuckers like Julius Randle, motherfuckers like Russell Westbrook. And I think that's kind of the point that Scottie was making in the video. Like, again, we can look at Russell Westbrook as a player that puts up all these numbers, great in his own right. But we can all, like, motherfuckers call Russell Westbrook, or to this day, and even in his prime, called Russell Westbrook a horrible player because of his decision-making in the clutch specifically, his shot selection in the clutch specifically, it's kind of within the same thing, but, you know, passing decisions, shit like that, careless turnovers, you know?
I understand that there's a whole bunch of bitterness going on about Michael Jordan.
Scottie is bitter.
I get all of that.
Scottie is bitter.
Because Michael Jordan's clearly received entirely too much of the shine in some of his teammates' eyes. I've heard other teammates talking about him. But it amazes me how everybody want to engage in revisionist history and talk about him now. Well, why didn't you talk about him when he was popular? Why didn't you talk about him when y'all were playing him with him? Why didn't you talk about him when he was on the court averaging over 30, busting people's ass night in, night out, intimidating folks in ways LeBron James never has? And it's not to throw shade on LeBron James. I'm just saying, Michael Jordan was different. How come you didn't talk about him then? How come you didn't talk about him when he was in your face as your teammate, helping you become a champion 6 times over? How come that didn't happen then? If somebody like Craig Hodges wants to be bitter about Michael Jordan, I'm down with that. Because I don't know the details. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you without their permission as it pertains to Craig Hodges and Michael Jordan. But I will tell you this about Craig Hodges. He's a deep brother. He's a special man. And boy, was he a long-range sniper. He was something special. He really, really was. And that brother deserved to be a champion. He deserved to be on the Bulls roster for years to come. He deserved to be honored. So if there's any bitterness about him, I'm cool with it. If it's coming from him, I'm cool with it. But you, Scottie Pippen, you had an opportunity to win without Jordan.
Let me. I think ultimately this is what it is, bro. This is what it is. Now, let me get the solo cam, Stephen A. Scottie Pippen is bitter for various amounts of reasons. He feels as if Michael Jordan stole the shine from him too much. He feels as if he's much better than what people think he is, and he's just not a number 2. right? People never give him credit for that run he had in those 2 years without Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? It's always Scottie Pippen needed Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan put out a documentary that kind of put Scottie Pippen in a bad light, called him selfish. Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, is fucking his bitch in some Gucci flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he's fucking his bitch in some Jordan flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like that. These are the facts. Scottie Pippen has a book to sell. Right? Like, Scottie Pippen has a book to sell. So that's all this is, man. He's a bitter dude that feels as if, he was slighted by Michael Jordan. Doesn't get enough credit. When in reality, you get too much credit, Scottie. Yeah, I said it. You get too much credit. You're lucky Sam Bowie got drafted before Michael Jordan. Because if it was MJ on the Blazers, we'd be talking about Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler right now. Right? We'd be talking about Scottie Pippen with the likes of the Chris Mullins of the world. The Michael Reds of the world. You know what I'm saying? The Paul Pierces of the world. These are the conversations we'd really be having with Scottie Pippen without Michael Jordan. Without Phil Jackson. Let me play that shit again. Let me keep that shit going. This is really the conversations we'd be having. Scottie. Come on, dude. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let's keep it a bean. Holy. I'm gonna wait till the super chat comes in. Let me read the $2 ones though. Bleak, superior for $2. Bitterness rooted in Mike treating them bad, maybe. That could be it too. I mean, hey, if I'm Steve Kerr, motherfucker punch me in the face. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was selfish. I be pulling that shit all the time, bro. Sean for $2. D-Lo is a perfect example. Ambrose for $2. Only player better than peak Shaq is Jordan. And then Ambrose for another $5. Feel bad for J-Kidd as a player. He led the Nets to 2 finals to only face peak Shaq and peak Duncan, who dropped a quadruple double that didn't count. Yeah. I don't feel bad about J-Kidd. You know what I'm saying? He was in the weak East. Let me chill. Nah, J-Kidd is definitely one of those players. Like, if someone in like the last 10 years led their team to back-to-back finals, even if they lost, we'd be gassing them up like crazy. But no one really talks about J-Kidd like that, though. So, all right, let's play a little bit more of this clip. But if he's just saying the same shit over and over again, then we'll move on, though.
You didn't do it. You know you probably bitter about that money that you didn't get from Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Bulls, who implored you to your face. Do not sign this deal. This is not a good deal for you. I know the guaranteed money looks good right now, but it'll be a better deal for you in a year or two from now, and you wanted the money now. And so you took it when he advised you not to. And Jordan advised you not to, but you still signed the deal. And then ended up bitter because they wouldn't restructure your deal. And to some degree held that against Jordan. Did you hate him when he had the flu? Or was poisoned by some pizza delivered to his room or whatever it was against Utah in the finals? And he still went out there and dropped about 38? And when he hit the game-winning shot, came back to the bench and walking back practically collapsed in your arms. You had to hold him up because he was so sick. But you needed him to take that shot, didn't you? How about when your back gave out?
Hey, yo! What? Hey, yo! What? What? When your back gave out? Hey, yo!
We ain't bringing up the migraine in 88 when you couldn't go into Game 7 against Detroit. We ain't even bringing that up. When Jordan was reduced to tears because the championship kept evading him and he was crying in the arms of his father on the team bus because somehow, some way, yet again, you couldn't show up.
Yo, he's going nuts.
There was an intestinal fortitude that you had when y'all were winning championships, but that had to be cultivated and developed over the years because earlier on in your career, Scottie Pippen, you didn't have it. He had it. And he had to carry the load and carry you. And look at how your game evolved. And look at how elite you became as a defensive player, as a ball handler, as a playmaker. Your game, to some degree, looked like it mirrored Jordan half the time. You were clearly learning from him, but now we want to forget that. No,
I will say this. He does make a good point in terms of people just look at Scottie's career with Jordan as, yo, as soon as rookie Scottie came in, yeah, that's when shit really took off. And like, you know, clear as day that Jordan couldn't do shit without Scottie. Again, rookie year, Scottie Pippen was averaging 8 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up a couple more stats to back this up. But I just know for a fact, like those first couple of years in the NBA, Scottie Pippen was not this all-NBA, all-star player that y'all think he is. Second year in the league, bro, I'm pretty sure started off the season still coming off the bench. 14-6-4, bro. 14-6-4. And then in the playoffs, those numbers still stayed roughly the same. 13-8-4. You know what I'm saying? Like, these aren't, like, insane numbers, bro. Side note, Scottie Pippen shooting 3 threes a game on 39%, though. Kind of underrated. Kind of underrated. But let's move on.
why we want to forget that, Scottie? And why are we doing that? Because your feelings are hurt about The Last Dance? Because Jordan had editorial control, according to you? Because he had editorial control and he highlighted the portions of how you didn't want to sign for the money and you was end up bitter because you didn't get your contract, or he wanted to sit up there and highlighted how you quit on your team. You want to hold that against him. Scottie Pippen, don't hold it against Jordan. Hold it against broadcast journalism. Hold it against television. Hold it against executives, great executives at the time, like Connor Shell, who's only now got his own production company and doing great things, who's my former boss at ESPN, and by the way, a great guy. Hold it against people like him for knowing television and knowing what the hell people want to see. We respect all the great players on the Chicago Bulls. It starts with Scottie Pippen. Stacey King did his job. Bill Wennington did his job. Luke Longley did his job. Bill Cartwright did his job. Horace Grant did his job. Dennis Rodman damn sure did his job. B.J. Armstrong did his job. Greg Hodges did his job. John Paxson did his job. Steve Kerr did his job. The list goes on and on and on for Bulls teammates that did their damn jobs. Phil Jackson, 6 championships. They never won until they got Phil Jackson as the head coach. They never won until Tex Winter introduced that triangle offense. They never won before that. Mad love and respect, no doubt. But we don't care. Even during the pandemic, when no sports was going on, there is no way in hell that the kind of views that you saw for The Last Dance would have happened if it did not feature Michael Jordan. We would not have cared.
One thing I am dead ass getting tired of, and whatchamacallit? Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say. One thing I am getting tired of is, and Dalmo talks about this as well, specifically when Nuggets and the Lakers were playing in the Western Conference Finals, is people like complaining about what media wants to and doesn't want to talk about. Because it's easy for fans, it's easy for viewers who do not run these businesses to just look at a ESPN, at a Bleacher Report, heck, even a Player's Choice or a Souls and Sage, and say, hey, y'all only talk about the Nuggets when it's about the MVP conversation. You know, like y'all never talk about the Orlando Magic. Let's be real, bro. The real problem is that there is a monetary incentive to talking about other players, certain players, excuse me. It is not these media companies just picking and choosing who they want to talk about. Media companies need to choose who is going to make them bread. People within media, more often than not, when their job is related to the views and the revenue that they make through their content, whether that be through articles, through tweets, through videos, through live streams, whatever it is, they will prioritize what the fuck makes them money. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we don't want to talk about Scottie Pippen. It's we want to make money. It's not that, we don't want to tell an objective story about the 1990 Chicago Bulls. It's, we know a story revolving around Michael Jordan specifically, and his perspective is going to make us money. And call it gaslighting. But if there's a hierarchy in this situation, number one is just the system itself. It's capitalism. Capitalism, when you mix capitalism and sports and media all together, this is what you get. But number two is the viewers. People only make content, not only, but primarily make content based off of how viewers respond to shit. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. If viewers responded, if viewers engaged with, Malik Beasley content, we would be talking about Malik Beasley every day. If people engage with, I don't even know, just give me a random Lou Dort content, and that has proven for a fact that that's gonna get motherfuckers millions of views every single day. We'd be talking about Lou Dort every single fucking day. It's just right now, the conversations at the top of this media cycle that generate views and revenue are topics like the Lakers, are topics like LeBron James, are topics like Stephen Curry. It's talking about the GOAT debate. I think Giannis has crept up there. You know what I'm saying? John Morant is up there. And things of that nature. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
He's the greatest. We saw it with our own two eyes. You were great, Scottie, and even with greatness, even with your greatness, you were not in his class. It was good television that was provided to a starving audience in desperate need of riveting content.
I think Giannis is in that conversation too. Giannis is in that conversation too.
And there's no way in hell we were interested in The Last Dance if The Last Dance was about Michael Jordan, but everybody else equally. It had to evolve around him. So he told his story. He talked about how you were going to walk out the door and you were going to leave. He had to bring up why that was. Because
and again, that's just the reality of the situation. Let's just say, let's lessen the Michael Jordan airtime if that's a problem. Imagine us watching a document, like truly, if it was about equality within that run. Imagine a documentary where there was just as much airtime surrounding around Scottie Pippen and Luke Longley, bro. Like, there's 30 minutes dedicated to Scottie Pippen, and there's also 30 minutes dedicated to Luke Longley. We don't need that, bro.
Because of what transpired early in your career as a Chicago Bulls. Whether it was not entering the game or it was signing a bad contract. He had to do that. He had to highlight the things about Horace Grant. He had to highlight things about others. That's what made the story. You're telling a story. Are you that mad, Scottie? Is it personal? Is it just about basketball? Is it about the son dating the ex-wife? I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying you wearing your bitterness on your sleeve for a reason. It ain't cool. It ain't right. It's beyond wrong. And whether you like it or not, it's total betrayal. You're taking shots at Michael Jordan at every turn. Was he supposed to give you a job? Was he supposed to make sure there was money in your pocket? Did he not come to you with a Nike deal that he wanted you to sign to ensure that you would continue to get paid, and you passed that up?
Oh, shit, again. Hold on.
It's Stephen A. You listening to, baby.
Hold on.
You know that's a rhetorical question. You know.
Hold on. Yo, hold on. Oh, shit.
Answer. Come on, man. You need to chill with all that. You're 57 years old. You're 57.
Oh, shit.
Tomorrow ain't promised to none of us. Michael Jordan doesn't deserve that from you. He has never failed to say he would have never won anything without you. He has never failed to say that you're the greatest teammate he has ever had. He has never failed to acknowledge his appreciation for what we all know to be your greatness as an iconic NBA talent. You don't have to sink to these lows, bro. You really should be ashamed of yourself. Still trying to sell a book? Still? Y'all talking to a bestseller? I would know something about bestseller. New York Times bestseller. 9 weeks.
Hey, he's cooking.
Straight shooter. Memoirs, second chances, and first takes. I wrote a book too. I ain't do nothing like that. Come on, bro. Come on.
He is so serious, bro. Hey, he is so serious, bro.